Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever time of day it is and whatever part of the world you're at right now. Welcome back. And today we're going to cover for once again another review problem pertaining to the quadratic equation / quadratic functions. So now let's go ahead and take a look at number 16. Number 16 reads, the width of a rectangle is 15 feet less than its length. If the area of the rectangle is 54 square feet, find the width. All right, so this is obviously a word problem, so we have to translate parts of this word problem into mathematics before we begin to solve anything, okay? So with that being said, it says the width of a rectangle is 15 feet less than its length, okay? So what that means when we translate that, the width equals 15 feet less than its length, okay? Oops, and let me use L for length. Now, it doesn't tell us what the length is, so we're gonna use X to represent the length. We don't know how much the length is. And in math, whenever we don't know the value of a particular term or item, we use X to represent it. So with that being said, if I rewrite the width equation now, it should look like this. Width is equal to X minus 15, and the length is still just equal to X. Whenever we're looking, so now that we're clear on that, the next thing it discusses is the area of the rectangle. Well, area of a rectangle is length times width. So, and we already know that area from this, they're telling us that the area is equal to 54. So if we do length times width equals area, and the length is X, the width is X minus 15, and it's equal to 54, okay? So now this right here is the equation that we're gonna use to solve for the width. We wanna find the width, okay? So let's go ahead and solve for X, and then we'll be able to figure out what it is we need to do to move forward to figure out our answer, okay? So I'm gonna rewrite this. This is X times X minus 15 equals 54. So now, if we're solving this, we distribute. That's gonna be X times X is X squared, X times 15, or negative 15 is negative 15X, and that equals 54. Now, to find the solutions to a quadratic equation, we need to have the quadratic equation equal to 0. So with that being said, what I'm gonna do now is subtract 54 from both sides. So subtract 54 from both sides. That's gonna leave me with 0 over here, and this is gonna say X squared minus 15X minus 54, okay? Now that we have this right here, we can go ahead and begin to factor. So this is A, B, and C, and we're gonna do the A times C method, and we're gonna look for the factors of A times C, the factors that equal what B is. B is negative 15. A is positive 1, C is negative 54. When you multiply both of those, you get negative 54.
So 1 and 54, 1 and 54, 2 and 27, 2 and 27. Let's see, 3 and 18, 3 and 18, 3 and 18. And then we're gonna do 6 times 9 and 6 times
9. All right, now because 54 is negative, that means that in each pair, a different number needs to be negative each time. All right, so now that I've done that, we just want to add these up, because once we get done adding, we'll be able to figure out which factor pair we need to use, because we want the sum to equal negative 15. So this is going to be positive 53, negative 53, positive 25, negative 25, positive 15, negative 15, and positive 3, negative 3. Now, remember, b is equal to negative 15, and the two factors that give us the negative 15 are the positive 3 and the negative 18. So, with that being said, now we know that the factors are going to be x plus 3 times x minus 18. Now, in order to figure out the solutions, okay, we still have one more thing we need to do. We need to set each factor equal to 0. And then we can go ahead and discuss what our answer would be. So for the first one, we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. X is equal to negative 3. And for the second one, we're going to add 18 to both sides. X is equal to positive 18. Now that we have both our x-intercepts, or our solutions, one of our solutions was x equals negative 3. The other solution was x equals 18. When we're looking at our length and width, our question asks us to, let's get rid of some of this stuff here. Our question, okay, basically asks us to find the width. So our width, remember, this is our equations over here. This is the equation for the width, and the one I'm putting in the little popcorn circle is the equation for the length. So the length, remember, the length was equal to x. So that means that length is equal to 18. All right. And the reason we know, let me go back before we even discuss, before we use 18, let's discuss why we're using the positive 18 and not the negative 3. When we're dealing with real world situations, the width or the depth of something, how long something is, the distance, those type of numbers cannot be negative. Time can't be negative. Measuring things cannot be negative. It always has to be a positive number. So when we're dealing with real world situations, when you're using a quadratic equation or a quadratic function to come up with determined solutions, in real world problems, the solution that you always want to use is the positive one. You want to exclude the negative one. All right. So getting back to what our length and our width is, since we're using the 18, the length was equal to x, and that means that the length is equal to 18. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and find the width. The width was equal to x minus 15. So the width is equal to 18 minus 15, which equals 3. So what is the width? The width is 3 feet. All right. And I hope that helped you out. And if you need to, always go back and rewatch the video again. And if there are any questions and concerns, you can always leave those in the comment area, and I will do my best to get back to you. All right. You all have a good day, and I'll catch you next time for the next review question. Deuces.